Gargoyles can be traced back to ancient civilizations such as the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. In ancient Egypt, for example, they used figures resembling animals and mythological creatures known as gutei as waterspouts to direct rainwater away from buildings. These gutei, while serving a practical function, lacked the grotesque and supernatural features that later defined gargoyles. In Greece, decorative elements similar to waterspouts occasionally appeared in ancient architecture, but they were predominantly ornamental and lacked the menacing appearance associated with gargoyles. Romans also employed waterspouts, often shaped like animal heads, for rainwater drainage. However, they did not incorporate the terrifying or supernatural aspects that became associated with gargoyles. The true development of gargoyles as we know them today occurred during medieval Europe, particularly in Gothic architecture. In this era, gargoyles continued to serve the practical function of directing rainwater away from buildings to prevent erosion and structural damage. This role was crucial because Gothic cathedrals and other structures featured intricate stonework and delicate sculptures that needed protection from water damage. Gargoyles in medieval Europe had multifaceted symbolism. Gargoyles often adorned churches and cathedrals as guardians of the sacred space. Their grotesque and frightening appearances were meant to ward off evil spirits and protect the faithful from harm. Some gargoyles depicted evil and sin, reminding the congregation of the consequences of their actions. These grotesque figures visually represented the struggle between good and evil. The intricate stonework of gargoyles allowed medieval craftsmen to showcase their artistic talents. They often incorporated mythological creatures, fantastic beasts, and elements of local folklore into their designs. Gargoyles were also used to convey religious stories and messages. Some represented biblical or allegorical figures, while others depicted scenes from Christian lore. Notre-Dame Cathedral is renowned for its extensive use of gargoyles and grotesques. The most famous gargoyle, known as l'Estrige or the Strix, perched on the cathedral's roof, is a winged, bat-like creature with a sinister appearance. These gargoyles served both functional and decorative purposes, directing rainwater away from the building while adding to the cathedral's Gothic grandeur. Victor Hugo's novel The Hunchback of Notre Dame further popularized these gargoyles in French literature and culture. Chartres Cathedral boasts an impressive collection of gargoyles and grotesques. They are characterized by their intricately carved, fantastical creatures, including mythical beasts and human-animal hybrids. These gargoyles serve as symbols of medieval religious and cultural expression, showcasing the artistic talents of the era. Westminster Abbey features a variety of gargoyles, including one of the most famous, the Little Green Man. This gargoyle is a small, green figure that is often overlooked among the more prominent sculptures. It is believed to have been added during the 19th century restoration work and serves as a whimsical and humorous touch by the craftsmen of that period. Cologne Cathedral boasts an array of intricately carved gargoyles, many of which are designed in the Gothic style with exaggerated features. These gargoyles contribute to the overall grandeur and magnificence of this iconic structure. The Washington National Cathedral features a wide range of gargoyles and grotesques, including some with uniquely American themes, such as astronauts and Darth Vader. These contemporary additions blend traditional and modern artistic expression. Gargoyles were commonly associated with architectural features in medieval Europe but also found their way into local folklore. They were often believed to come to life at night to ward off evil spirits and protect the community. In Islamic mythology, there are entities known as shayatan or jinn, often associated with malevolent spirits. Some depictions of jinn resemble grotesque creatures akin to gargoyles, serving as a representation of unseen forces in Islamic mythology. In ancient Egypt, guttes served a practical purpose by preventing water damage to structures. While they lacked the sinister appearance of later gargoyles, they showcased the ingenuity of ancient Egyptian engineering and architecture. Various Asian cultures have their own mythological creatures resembling gargoyles. For example, Chinese folklore includes guardian figures like Fu lions or Shi, symbolizing protection against evil spirits. In some Native American cultures, legends of mythical guardian spirits that protect the land and people bear resemblance to gargoyles. These guardian spirits represent the connection between humans and nature. These cultural interpretations and adaptations of gargoyles reflect the multifaceted significance and enduring fascination with these architectural features. One of the most famous gargoyle legends comes from the city of Rouen, France. According to local folklore, a dragon terrorized the city in the 7th century. The people of Rouen, in their desperation, sought the help of Saint Romanus. In response to their prayers, Saint Romanus agreed to confront the dragon. A gargoyle on the Rouen Cathedral, known as La Gargoyle, is said to have inspired the legend. In the story, the dragon, Gargoyle, was captured by Saint Romanus and led back to the city, where it was burned at the stake. The gargoyle's shape and the story of Gargoyle contributed to the belief that gargoyles could ward off evil. Château de Foix, a medieval castle in France, is home to a legend involving a gargoyle. According to local folklore, a fearsome gargoyle named Gargoyle lived in the castle's moat. It was believed to be a malevolent creature that would snatch and devour anyone who ventured too close to the water. The castle's gargoyle came to symbolize the mythical gargoyle, and it played a role in local superstitions and tales to warn people about the dangers of the moat. In some regions, especially in Britain, the Green Man is a mythical figure associated with nature and fertility. Green Man carvings often appear on medieval buildings alongside gargoyles. While not gargoyles in the traditional sense, these carvings are believed to have had a protective role and were associated with fertility and the renewal of life. The presence of Green Man carvings alongside gargoyles illustrates the blending of Christian and pagan symbolism in medieval art and architecture. They were seen as guardians of life and nature, promoting a sense of continuity and protection. The craftsmanship of gargoyles allowed artisans to showcase various artistic styles throughout history. For instance, Romanesque gargoyles often featured simpler, more subdued designs, while Gothic gargoyles were elaborate and highly detailed, reflecting the aesthetics of their respective eras. While stone was the most common material for gargoyles, other materials were occasionally used. In some cases, metals such as copper, bronze, or lead were employed, particularly for the water-spouting components of gargoyles. Metal gargoyles were often found on smaller buildings or as decorative accents. Stone carvers, often highly skilled artisans, meticulously carved gargoyles by hand. They used chisels, mallets, and other carving tools to shape the stone into the desired forms. This process required precision and artistic vision to bring intricate designs to life. In some instances, molds were used to create multiple copies of a gargoyle design. Molten metal or plaster was poured into these molds to create duplicates, making production more efficient. However, handmade carved gargoyles were still highly valued for their uniqueness. In the 19th century, during the Gothic revival movement, There was renewed interest in the use of gargoyles and grotesques in architecture. This revival led to the incorporation of gargoyle-like sculptures and decorative elements in newly constructed buildings and restorations. Beyond their architectural significance, gargoyles have inspired popular culture. The animated TV series Gargoyles, 1994 to 1996, introduced a new generation to these creatures, depicting them as noble protectors who turned to stone during the day and came to life at night. There is a niche market for gargoyle collectors who seek out and acquire these sculptures as decorative art pieces. Gargoyles are also popular subjects for collectible figurines and sculptures, with some enthusiasts amassing extensive collections. In some botanical gardens and parks, you can find gargoyle-themed sculptures integrated into the landscape. These sculptures add a touch of whimsy and fantasy to the surroundings, blending nature with the fantastical. Gargoyles, with their intricate history, diverse cultural interpretations, and enduring presence in architecture and art, continue to captivate the imagination of people worldwide. Their evolution from practical waterspouts to intricate and symbolic elements reflects the ever-changing tapestry of human creativity and expression throughout history.